Hello. Hello, beautiful people. I was gonna start reading books and all that, but instead, I decided to. Well, I didn't decide. It just happened that I stumbled across all this. And, I don't know, it sounds relevant to exposing the truth, or at least exposing all sides of each story. Now, I'm not the happiest, but what's messed up is I'm intrigued by the Roman numerals. Camels, 1913. Underneath that it says 1913, MCMXIII, which is 1913 and the year 1913. So I decided to look it up, and one of the first Google things was Wikipedia for 1913. Now, I'm going to read off all the things on this and go into what ended up really sparking my interest. I ended up stumbling upon whatever, but I'll get to that soon enough. 1913. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. This article is about year 1913. For the numbers and other uses, see 1913 number. Year 1913, MCMXIII, was a common year starting on Wednesday of the Gregorian calendar, and a common year starting on Tuesday, on the 13-day slower Julian calendar. Events. January 1st. The British Board of Film Censors receives the authority to classify and censor films. January 13th. Edward Carson founds the Ulster Volunteer Force by unifying several existing loyalist militias to resist Home Rule for Ireland. January 23rd. General election in Tasmania. January 30th. The British House of Lords rejects an Irish Home Rule bill. February 1st. New York City's Grand Central Terminal, having been rebuilt, reopens as the world's largest railroad station. February 3rd. The 16th Amendment to the United States Constitution is ratified, authorizing the federal government to impose and collect income taxes. February 9th. Mexican Revolution, beginning of La Decena Tragisca. I could be just butchering that name. Sorry about it. The rebellion of some military chiefs against the President Francisco I, or Francisco I. Madero. February 18th. Mexican Revolution. President Francisco I. Madero. I want to pronounce this correct. Madrido. I could be butchering it again. And Vice President Jose Maria. Is that Maria? Maria Bueno Sarez are forced to resign. Pedro Lastarine serves as president for less than an hour before General Victoriano Herrera, leader of the coup, takes office. February 22nd, Mexican Revolution, assassination of Francisco and Jose. March. The House of Romanov celebrates the 300th anniversary of its succession to the throne, amidst an outpouring of monarchist sentiments in Russia. Following the assassination of his rival, Song Jaehoren, this is China. Jaehoren, butchering names. I'm sorry, suck at accents, so bear with me. Yan Shikai uses military force to dissolve China's parliament and rules as a direct dictator. My bad. March 3rd, the Women's Suffrage Parade of 1913 takes place in Washington, D.C., led by Inez Milholland on horseback. March 4th, Woodrow Wilson succeeds William Howard Taft as the 28th President of the United States. The U.S. Department of Commerce and U.S. Department of Labor are established by splitting the duties of the 10-year-old Department of Commerce and Labor. The Census Bureau, U.S. Bureau of Fisheries, and U.S. Coast and Geodetic Survey from part of the Department of Commerce. March 7th. The British fighter Alum Chine, carrying 343 tons of dynamite, explodes in Baltimore Harbor. March 12th. Australia begins building the new federal capital of Canberra. March 13th. A Mexican Revolution, Pancho Villa returns to Mexico from his self-imposed exile in the United States. March 17th. The Uruguayan Air Force is founded. March 18th. King George I of Greece is assassinated after 50 years on the throne. He is succeeded by his son Constantine. That's a creepy name. March 20th. Song Chao-jin, a founder of the Chinese Nationalist Party Kuomintang, is wounded in an assassination attempt and dies 2 days later. March 26th. Mexican Revolution. Venustiano Carranza announces his plan of Guadalupe and begins his rebellion against Victoriano Huerta government as head of the Constitutionals. March 26. Balkan War. Bulgarian forces take Adrianople. I played Ace Combat Balkan War. I think there's two of them that were kind of similar to the Balkan War, and that's a little. Maybe there's a little bit of truth in that little story. Never know. April 8th. The 17th Amendment to the United States Constitution is passed, dictating the direct election of senators. April 21st. Cunard Ocean liner RMS Aquitania, built by John Brown and Company, is launched on the River Clyde. May 3rd. Raja Harishchandra, the first full-length Indian feature film, is released, making the beginning of the Indian film industry. May 13th. Igor Skorsky becomes the first person to pilot a four-engine aircraft. May 14th. New York Governor William Sulzer approves the charter for the Rockefeller Foundation, which begins operations with a $100 million donation from John D. Rockefeller. May 29th. The ballad The Rite of Spring, with music by Igor Stravinsky, conducted by Pierre Monteux, choreography by Vasiliev Nijinsky, and designed by Nicholas Roerich, is premiered by Sergei Diaghilev's Ballets Russes at the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées in Paris. Butchering it. Its modernism provokes one of the most famous classical music riots in history. May 30th. First Balkan War. The Treaty of London is signed, ending the war. Greece is granted those parts of southern Epirus which it does not already control. June 1st. The Greek-Siberian Treaty of Alliance is signed, paving the way for the Second Balkan War. June 4th. Emily Davison, a British suffragette, runs out in front of the king's horse Anmer at the Epsom Derby. She is trampled and dies 4 days later in hospital, never having regained consciousness. June 8th. The Duchess Stadion in Berlin is dedicated with the release of 10,000 pigeons. In front of an audience of 60,000 people, it has been constructed especially for the 1916 Summer Olympics, which will be canceled as a result of World War I. June 11th, Battle of Bud Bagsack. Armed with guns and heavy artillery, U.S. and Philippine troops under General John J. Blackjack Pershing fight a 4-day battle against 500 Moro rebels, who are armed mostly with Campillion swords. The rebels are killed in a final desperate charge on June 15th. June 18th, the Arab Congress of 1913 opens, during which Arab nationalists meet to discuss desired reforms under the Ottoman Empire. June 19th, the Parliament of South Africa forbids blacks from owning or buying land from whites. June 24th, Joseph Cook becomes the 6th Prime Minister of Australia. June 29th, the Second Balkan War begins. July 10th, Death Valley, California hits 134 degrees, 56.7 Celsius, the highest temperature recorded in the world as of 2012. Romania declares war on Bulgaria. Cycles are coming all over again. It's good to know what happened. July 27th, foundation of the town Sarajevo, Uruguay. I could be butchering that. By Russian settlers. August 4th, in China, the province Chongqing declares independence. Chinese Republican forces crush the rebellion in a couple of weeks. August 10th, Second Balkan War. The Treaty of Bucharest is signed, ending the war. Macedonia is divided and northern Epirus is assigned to Albania. August 13th, invention of stainless steel by Harry Brearley in Sheffield. August 20th, 700 feet, 210 meters above Bouc, France, parachutist Adolphe Pigod jumps from an airplane and lands safely. August 26th, Dublin lockout in Ireland. Members of James Larkin's Irish Transport and General Workers Union, employed by the Dublin United Tramways Company, begin strike action in defiance of the dismissal of trade union members by its chairman. August 31st, Dublin lockout, Bloody Sunday. The dispute escalates when the Dublin Metropolitan Police kill one demonstrator and injure 400 in dispersing a demonstration. September 9th, in Germany, BASF starts the world's first plant for the production of fertilizer based on the Haber-Bosch process, feeding today about a third of the world's population. Haber-Bosch process. Let's check that out. September 17th, in Chicago, the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith is founded, with Sigmund Livingston as the first president. September 23rd, French aviator Roland Garros crosses the Mediterranean in an airplane flying from Fréjus, France to Bizerte, Tunisia. September 29th, Second Balkan War. The Treaty of Constantinople is signed in Istanbul between the Ottoman Empire and the Kingdom of Bulgaria. October 1st, Mexican Revolution, Pancho Villas. Troops taken Tehran after a 3-day battle, when government troops retreat. October 10th, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson triggers the explosion of the Gamboa Dike, ending construction on the Panama Canal. Yuan Shikai installed as first president of China. Installed as first president of China. Who installed him? That's really fucked up sounding, especially in words. Like, when you install something, you're like someone else is placing it. I don't know. I'd want to hear more on other people's understanding of such and whatnot, and also I don't know the full background story, so whatever. Like, I don't know like all sides that came to the conclusion of putting him in. October 14th, Sighinyadi, I can't pronounce that at all. Colliery disaster. An explosion at the Universal Colliery Sighinyadi in South Wales kills 439 miners. The worst mining accident in the United Kingdom. October 16th. HMS Queen Elizabeth launched at Portsmouth Dockyard as the first oil-fired battleship. October 19th. The DLRG, German Life-Saving Society, is founded. October 26th. Victoriano Huerta, elected president of Mexico. October 31st. The Lincoln Highway, the first automobile road across the United States, is dedicated. November 5th. The insane King Otto of Bavaria is deposed by his cousin, Prince Regent Ludwig, who assumes the title Ludwig III. November 6th. Mohandas Gandhi is arrested while leading a march of Indian miners in South Africa. November 7th till 11th. The Great Lakes Storm of 1913 claims 19 ships and more than 250 lives. December 1st. The Ford Motor Company introduces the first moving assembly line, reducing chassis assembly time from 12.5 hours in October to 2 hours and 40 minutes. Although Ford is not the first to use an assembly line, his successful adoption of one sparks an era of mass production. Crete, having obtained self-rule from Turkey after the First Balkan War, is annexed by Greece. December 12th. Vincenzo Pergia tries to sell the Mona Lisa in Florence and is arrested. December 23rd. The Federal Reserve System is created as the central banking system of the United States by Woodrow Wilson, signature of the Federal Reserve Act. December 30th. Italy returns the Mona Lisa to France. If cycles are true, what can we foresee with seeing 100 years ago? Because it is 100 years ago to this day. Well, actually, from the first. That 1913 happened. Synchronicity. These things, 1913, and also, I don't know if you can see it, but 1913 in Roman numerals. We're seeing all that. A great movement happen with Gandhi. A control system was heavily implemented pretty fast with a new United States. Let me go back up to double check what it was. There was, well, besides that, there was multiple wars that was trying to get rid of older empires that were happening. The Ottoman was still around in 1913. And we were destroying, not just we, but they were outright destroying each other, which also Europe and England and all that was pawning other places to go forth and destroy such. Like, but then again, I personally don't know if they ended up putting like secretive groups within such to cause a stir and make their rules to the world of living or whatever, to lead us to the people who want to continue leading on in their own way of like their freedom and our sheep mentality, so to say. But yes, the 16th Amendment to the United States Constitution is ratified, basically letting income taxes happen, even though, isn't that what originally was removed? Like, isn't that why, like, our founding fathers came over to the United States, or, well, came to North America, and just basically started claiming this is ours, get the fuck away, start a new way of life? But then also the Boston Tea Party, wasn't that about taxes as well? I could be wrong, but that's what I've heard throughout so long. But even if that's the case, then that's something doesn't sound right. I mean, yeah, taxes are good, but then again, not to this degree. Because, like, the debt that we're kind of in throughout everywhere, all this money is coming from the same family. Both sides, just different faces on it, whatever the hell. Whatever. It's a fucking pyramid system. Seriously. They're up here, and we're anywhere from, like, here on down. They have, like, the top little pyramid, triangle. Not just triangle, but I can't remember what they're called, but the 3D form of it. They have that, and they've removed themselves from it. That's something that really bothers me. Is I look at the pyramid, that the top of that has been removed, like the very top has been removed and placed elsewhere. Dollar bill, fucking dollar bill. See that? It's cut and it's removed, and they're supposed to be greater than us. But yeah, that's just one. They got rid of the 16th Amendment to the United States. Well, isn't that what ratified mean? If not, let me look that up. Ratified. Alright, ratified. Definition of ratified. Ratified. Okay. To approve and give formal sanction to, confirm. Alright, now let's put those words into this. The 16th Amendment to the United States Constitution is to approve and give formal sanction to, or to confirm authorizing the federal government, them, people that are higher up than us, supposedly, that are supposedly better than us, or however you can look at them as, like what their position is to you, apparently. But authorizing the federal government to impose and collect income taxes. So they confirmed the 16th Amendment. So it's not, they didn't get rid of the 16th Amendment. They added the 16th Amendment, authorizing the federal government, other people, like at least now, who doesn't seem like it's in our best interest, like for actual beings, for living better and happily and safely and in full abundance. They decided to put taxes to debt us even more. So here's the money from us, the banks. Like, you can get it, here's $1, but it's gonna be like so much percent. After so long, you have to pay us that back plus like however much we decide to add on top of that. So say that it's 100%, so and you have like a year to pay it. You have to pay back $2. If you didn't make that $2 back, if you didn't, if you weren't able to give that $1 away and make at least 2 more back, you're in debt to them, and then it just keeps rising and rising, where you're constantly gonna have to do stress, and then not to mention, not only that, whatever money you do make, if you get that from, I do believe, from the bank or any other way, if you make like say $500 a year, low numbers, you're gonna have to give a certain percent of that to them, and supply and demand is, I can't exactly word it correctly because like how I'm seeing it, it doesn't look correct to me. Originally I wanted to talk about the cigarette stuff because it kind of whatever, but it led me down a very giant rabbit hole. This year is gonna be huge. Like, hopefully people notice it and they can see similarities from back then to now and ultimately change it. 90 degrees change. The Egyptians knew something. If you change something 90 degrees, it's completely different. 180, just think of what it is now and then basically go backwards. Like, that kind of makes sense to me. Like, I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to go forward into the same shit. I'd rather be like, you know what, let me just turn a little bit and see what's down that way, you know? That's just me. But there's a lot of different U.S. Departments that they decided to split off from whatever. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about, but who knows? Like, maybe someone else has like more information and can help me with that. Where's that other amendment? 17th Amendment or 15th Amendment? Yeah, the 17th Amendment to the United States Constitution is passed, dictating the direct election of senators. Dictating. Alright, dictating. Let me just click on this. The word dictate. Dictate. Dick. To say or read aloud, to be recorded or written by another. To prescribe with authority, impose. To control or command. So the 17th Amendment to the United States Constitution is passed to impose the direct election of senators. To impose, to control, to command. I'm just using words that it's been said, and you look a little deeper, and even if you need to look up even some of these words that are being said from these words, you start going down a rabbit hole. The English language is completely strange. Not really strange, but it's very twisted. And that's the same. These halfway smart motherfuckers who are controlling everything right now, it's been happening for a while. Like, I could see that, but actually now, like, trying to better myself to socially speak better, I stumble into a lot of this stuff, and I will ramble on about all this just because it doesn't make sense. It's being said, it's out there. Someone thought of it or saw it actually happening in this dimension where obviously we can't put our hands through our other hand, you know. But it's happening, or if it didn't happen, it could be happening in someone's thought, and it's happening somewhere else. So the more that we understand, the better we are at not avoiding, but I hope the words rectify. Hold up. Rectify. Put something right. Yeah. To rectify how living really should be. Not how it is now, because I'm not happy with how it's very segregated and very dull. Because in all honesty, there's so many different topics of the world, but yeah, what's really being imposed is how you should have a fucking money income. You must have a place to stay. You must blah blah blah. Instead of using our fullest as what we know to further along that and to create new non-resourced things like what we have at the moment, like solar power, wind power, etc., etc. Except for those are going to be a little bit tedious after so long, which I can clearly see it. But for now, it would help out a lot. Put a few, make a handful of stuff for your community, and have your community have so many people have their jobs maybe once a week or something like that. Just go over, make sure everything's perfectly fine, because after all, if you think about it, that's something that they're using and their community is using. So whoever has that knowledge and understanding of how to create it, or at least take care of it, that'll constantly go as swimmingly as possible, then you won't have people from like other cities, like cable, for instance, where they take forever to get to your place and just to figure out what's your problem or hook up cable or something like that. And if it goes out, or like electricity, if that goes out, you have to wait so long. If you have like your own stuff here and all power goes out, even though they've been checking it, okay, well, a couple of them, they'll just go check out. They'll like hit each other up, or at least talk to someone who, however you want to build your community, like, so that certain things of such can be fixed in an orderly, timely fashion. And then once that happens, bam, like, they get dispersed, fixed, move on. And then there's so much more time to like, what else can we do? What fun stuff, better way of living, gardening, whatever. There's like an infinite amount of things to do. But yeah, these are just my thoughts. I'll be going over some more. Hopefully I'll make one more video tonight of something I'll stumble on or whatever. And yeah, share this video, like it, comment, whatever. I'm looking to better my social skills, and this is the safe way that I know how to, until I can put some things together, which I apologize to everybody I hang out with and I don't really conversate, but I don't have the chemical makeup for it. Well, I don't have the chemical connection or the brain connection until whatever. But I'm working on it. I hope everyone sees that. I love you all. Peace.